Hi and hello, Eagles fans, and welcome to this presentation of TCC Softball. I am William Haynes, and we welcome you to the softball grounds here at TCC on the west side of Tallahassee. Your Eagles coming in at 21-15 on the year. They are 3-9 in Panhandle Conference play. They host the, as of now, second place Northwest Florida State College Raiders. They are 35-8 overall on the year, 7-3 in conference play. The Eagle on the circle for game number one. You'll remember her from our last time on the air. Brittany Michael, absolutely stellar performance in that doubleheader against Gulf Coast State the last time they were here. Complete game shutout in game one. Got the final 5 outs in getting the save in a 1-0 final score in game two of that one, as we look at her stats on the year as the leadoff hitter Sydney Stewart is about to step in. This season, Brittany Michael in 18 total appearances. She started 8 games. She's 6-3 with 3 saves. In her 8 starts, she's gone complete game 7 times. So when she's on the circle, she tends to finish out the game that she pitches 86 innings of work, a 2.5 ERA. She's the Eagles' most used pitcher and certainly the most effective as well. Her last time out, April 9th at Chipola, got the loss, 6 innings, 5 runs on 11 hits. That was the only start that she's had since that beautiful, stellar performance on March 30th against Gulf Coast State. So it is Sydney Stewart stepping in from the right side. And after this first pitch, we are underway at 3:56. Swinging away on that pitch. High fly ball. Will it stay in play? And it did. It was Anishka Ponte out there in right making the snag for out number 1, and so that will open up our ball game. Stepping in now, Gabrielle Fischetti. She's playing catcher for game number 1. Leads the team in at-bats with 141, batting .369. 39 knocked in, 9 home runs, which is also good for the team lead. Takes that first pitch for a strike. So the defensive alignment for TCC in game number 1. In the outfield first from left to right, it goes Patry, Childs, Aponte. And then in the infield from third to first, Little, Ortiz, Rodriguez, Kaylin James at first base, with Brittany Michael's twin sister, Brooke Michael, behind the plate, swinging away on that one. And that's a liner to right field and is caught by Anishka Ponte once more for out number 2. So a fly out to right, a line out to right, a couple of right-handed hitters going the other way, and so now it will be Alexis Wadsworth, the DP, stepping in from the left side. And 106 at bat, she's batting .349 on the year. Takes that first pitch outside for ball 1. 32 knocked in, 2 home runs. And that's a comebacker right to the pitcher. Throw to first well in time. So a quick and effective 1-2-3 inning for Brittany Michael in the top of the first. Bottom half of the inning, Eagles get their first crack at things. When we come back, you're watching Eagle Softball on TCCEagles.com and YouTube. And we welcome you back for the bottom half of the first inning. Mackenzie Childs will step in from the left side to get things started against the Raiders starter, the right-hander Allison Brunson. Tell you about her numbers after the first pitch. And that is off the plate. 4-1. So Allison Brunson this year, 27 total appearances, 21 starts, 118 innings. So she's far and away the most used pitcher on the Raiders roster. She is 13-3 with 3 saves. In 21 games started, she's gone complete game 11 of those times. So we've got a couple of pitchers on the circle that could be going pretty deep into this ball game. Her last time out on March 30th against Pensacola State, getting the win. She went the full distance, 7 innings and 6 runs, only 4 earned on 9 hits. Another pitch outside to Mackenzie Childs, and quickly she goes to 3-0. So a real nice start to this ball game where you're able to get the top of the Raiders out in order, and now potential for the leadoff hitter to get aboard. Taking all the way on 3-0, and she will take her base as she heads on down to first. Leadoff walk to start the game. You can never complain about that. And now it will be the catcher batting right, Brooke Michael. This season, 264, 2 home runs, 10 knocked in. Takes that first pitch for a strike. Batting order for Tallahassee today. Mackenzie Childs led things off, followed by Brooke Michael, Brittany Michael. Then it goes Little, Ortiz, James, and the bottom 3 of Allison Rodriguez, Emma Patry, and Anishka Ponte. Takes another pitch on the outside part for a strike, so now quickly she goes down 0-2. So the Eagles come into this game, and they are trying to take pitches, maybe get that pitch count for Allison Brunson up earlier than maybe she would like. But it's to the tune right now of an 0-2 count. Takes again, and was able to get the call on her side that time. It's now 1 ball, 2 strikes. Brunson rubbing up the softball. She waits the sign. Now comes set, and the throw home is chopped. No, it does not stay fair. The third baseman, Thompson, had it, but it had already gone foul of the third base line. The home plate umpire puts his hands up, and so we'll do it again at a ball and 2 strikes. Am I wrong, or was that the first swing of the ball game for Tallahassee? And probably about 7 or 8 pitches into this game. Here is another 1-2, and a curveball, and that is, I guess, just low. And so now that will even the count at 2-2. So some really, really patient at-bats. That's something that you definitely like to see. Here's Brunson on 2-2, and did she go around? They appeal to the field umpire who says no swing, or check swing, and either way, now the count will go full. Mackenzie Childs gets in a runner's stance on first base for a payoff pitch, and that one is put into play right to the second baseman who goes to the shortstop, and they get the throw to first for the double play that erases the leadoff walk. It went Stewart to Hood to Hardy on the 4-6-3 double play. And so after all that, it's 2 outs with the bases empty for Brittany Michael, the pitcher on the circle today. So now I guess you kind of start things over from scratch. That first pitch is called for a strike. We talked about this the last time during that Gulf Coast doubleheader, but it is quite remarkable, Brittany Michael being used as the most used pitcher, but also she's second in the team in at-bats with 110 as she's jammed inside, and that is a shallow pop-up that settles into the glove of the first baseman Hardy. And so after a leadoff walk, a double play, and now that shallow pop out, and now the Eagles go down in order 1, 2, 3 in the first as well. Through one full, we're scoreless. Riley Gibson will get this second inning started. Brittany Michael back out on the circle after popping out to end the bottom of the first. That first pitch is low for ball one. Couldn't get her to chase the breaking ball. Gibson this year batting .316 with 3 home runs and 21 knocked in. The 1-0 pitch from Michael, and get her to pop up to that one and into the glove of the first baseman, Kaylin James, for out number 1. Now the third baseman, Layla Thompson, steps in. Layla Thompson, 121 at-bats, third on the team, .364 the average, 2 home runs, 27 knocked in. She's got more walks than strikeouts, 11-10 is the ratio. Breaking ball out high and outside for ball 1. So we mentioned the Eagles 3-9 in conference play. Northwest State 7-3. As that one chopped on the ground and out of the glove of the pitcher Michael, and that'll be an infield single for Layla Thompson, their first base runner and hit of the day. And now as the first baseman, Michael Hardy steps in. Macy, pardon. 260 on the year, 4 home runs, 28 knocked in. Shows bunt, but pulls back, throw it down at first, and the runner, Layla Thompson, is in safely. Getting back to my point with the conference standings, Tallahassee is 0-3 this season against Northwest. Last time they played was in Niceville on March the 26th. A 3-2 loss in Game 1 and a 3-1 loss in Game 2. And then they also played the runner goes. No, she doesn't. And she's back into first safely. They played in that kind of round robin in Panama City that they do every year to get conference play started, and they lost that game 6-5. So out of 3 losses, 2 of them are by 1 run, and the other loss is by 2 runs. So close margins all around. Here's the break-even pitch on 1-1. And swinging away, but fouled quickly out of play. 1-2 now. You wonder if with 1 out, do you send the runner again? She's been active. Talking about Layla Thompson off of first base so far. And now the 1-2. Runner goes. No, she doesn't. She ends up going back again, but it's a swing and a miss for Hardy. And that's the first strikeout of the game for either side. 2 away. Big cut and a miss to open the at-bat for Briley Broussard. Broussard 342. Still looking for her first home run of the year and has 11 runs batted in. Here's the pitch on 0-1. And got her swinging out of her shoes right there on a breaking ball high and away. And quickly the count, 0-2. Brittany Michael had 8 strikeouts in her complete game at home against Gulf Coast State, as couldn't get her to chase that one, and it goes to 1-2. And that seems to be, you say that about really any pitcher, but when Brittany Michael is at her best, she's getting all kinds of ugly swing and misses on some of those breaking balls. And here's the 1-2. Runner goes this time, but it doesn't matter as it's a swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Brittany Michael to end the inning. So far been successful in keeping the Raiders off the board, and we'll head to the bottom of the second, where the Eagles will get their second crack at things.
Community College presents Rock the Roost, starring Luke Bryan.
Yeah, that's my kind of night.
Luke Bryan. It goes live Saturday, July 23rd on campus at TCC with special guest
There was this girl,
Riley Green.
drink in her hand, shoot me and let's get into trouble, grand.
Tickets are on sale now at rocktheroosttcc.com. Luke Bryan, live, produced by Tallahassee Community College and Adams Entertainment.
The bat that we're all happy to see come to the plate, Raven Little. She's playing third base and hitting cleanup today to get this bottom of the second inning started. First pitch swinging away, and that one is going to get out of play into the Raiders bullpen for strike one. As I look over there, Northwest already has somebody warming up. Maybe that's just kind of a long routine for the pitcher they expect to go in game number 2. Here's the 0-1 to Little. And a nice take there as it's just off the plate. 1-1 now. Raven Little leads the team 111 at-bats. She's played just about every game at third base. 315 the average. 34 runs knocked in, which is the team lead. And the team lead in home runs with 9 as well. So she's a do-it-all player. Terrific at the hot corner at third base as well. Had 2 home runs in game 1. In that doubleheader we called here against Gulf Coast. She was really kind of the hero in that one alongside Brittany Michael. As that pitch, she takes high, and now the count moves to 3 balls and 1 strike. So the trend that we saw in the bottom of the first has carried over to the second, and that is the Eagles taking lots and lots of pitches. Had a leadoff walk to start the game, erased by a double play. But here's the 3-1 to Little, swinging away. The second baseman, Stewart, gathers it, throws to first. Close play, but gets it in time for out number 1. 4-3 on the putout. And that will bring up the shortstop, Cheche Ortiz. Ortiz in 100 at-bats, 320 the average, 3 home runs, 13 knocked in. Kaylin James is on deck. First pitch from Brunson is low for ball 1. Infield and outfield playing Ortiz straight away with the middle of the infield wide open. Takes a pitch there, and the count evens at a ball and a strike. Force Brunson to start hitting the strike zone with some of those breaking balls before you have to, start offering at it at a consistent basis. Swings away there and rolls it foul down the third base side. And now Brunson ahead in the count 1-2. Yet to see any kind of loud contact. Granted, it's still early in the second inning, but a lot of kind of slow rolling ground balls, shallow pop flies, as that one misses low in the dirt. And now the count even at 2-2. Are we in line for a pitcher's duel here in game one? That we will have to wait and see. Now the 2-2 comes home, swinging away, and that one is foul down the first base side. So we'll do it again. Brunson changing speeds in this at-bat. Had Ortiz early, now late on that last pitch. Which one does she go to on 2-2? Gives her the fastball right down Main Street, and that's a called strike 3. Her first punch out of the game, and with 2 outs and bases empty, it will be Kaylin James.
Now batting and playing first base, number 25,
Kaylin James, a player that primarily in the field plays first base, is also used as the DP quite a bit. .313 the average, 8 home runs, which is one shy of Raven Little for the team lead, and 28 runs batted in. And that one is sent high in the air but foul down the left side. So she was early on that one. Called strike 2. And now, at least in this inning, the taking pitches strategy has worked more in the favor of Allison Brunson, as she's been able to get ahead in the count more consistently. Kaylin James protecting on 0-2, but instead she takes it outside for ball 1. The 1-2 and got her with the breaking ball. And that's strike 3, back-to-back strikeouts for Allison Brunson to close out the second inning, as we saw at the top of the second. And now we're through 2 full, still scoreless here in Tallahassee. We head now to the top of the third, bottom of the order due up for the Raiders, the 8-9 hitters before it turns back over. We'll start with Gracie Bellard. Left-handed hitter takes the first pitch inside for ball 1. accuracy is .277, looking for a first home run, 20 runs batted in. And finds a strike zone there to even it out at 1-1. Interesting looking uniform matchup today. I'm sure Tallahassee has broken them out before, but the first that I can recall seeing them, the blue jerseys with the black lettering, yellow trim, Tallahassee on the front. As that one is put into play, but a shallow kind of liner to Raven Little for out number 1. With the black pants at home, which is not traditional, and it's interesting you have Northwest coming in. They've got the white pants with the red jerseys, black numbers on the back. Northwest Florida lettering on the front. That first pitch just misses high. I believe about 80 degrees at game time. Partly cloudy. That one sent into center field, sends Mackenzie Childs back, but she makes a running catch with her back turned for out number 2. So now Brittany Michael has navigated the order the first time through without really much trouble at all. The only base runner allowed was the one-out single to Layla Thompson in the second. And so now the Raiders get their second turn against Michael. It will now be Sydney Stewart who led off the game with a fly out in foul territory to right. Takes that first pitch outside. Nice cutter action late there, but couldn't get her to bite on it. Bottom of the order for the Eagles due up in the third. It'll be Rodriguez, Patry, and Aponte getting their first at-bats of the day. Beautiful curveball dropping in for a strike there. Now the break-even pitch on 1-1. And that one is sent into center field as well. And Mackenzie Childs is going to go further back to the wall, and all she can do is be a spectator as that one is over the wall and good for a home run. Raiders strike first. Solo shot for Sydney Stewart. That is her 8th home run of the year, RBI number 45. As the Raider dugout comes out to greet her. And now Northwest Florida on top 1-0 with 2 outs in the top of the third. Gabrielle Fischetti now catching today, lined out to right field in the first inning. Big cut and a miss there to open the at-bat 0-1. Got it the outside part of the plate there to move the count to 0-2. Michael looking for her third strikeout of the day. Fischetti started to go but pulled back early. And so that'll move it to 1 ball and 2 strikes. And now the 1-2. Put into play off the ground by the second baseman Rodriguez. Goes to first, the short throw for the out. So the Raiders do strike first. The solo home run for Sydney Stewart gets them on the board 1-0. Eagles with the bottom of the order coming up with a chance to respond when we come back. A-Rod, who made the final put out of the top of this inning, gets it started in the bottom half of the frame. Allison Rodriguez this season batting .211, no home runs, 2 batted in. 76 at-bats. Only 2 walks compared to 12 strikeouts. She's now an 0-1 in the count here. Final 3 Eagle batters the first time through the lineup. Rodriguez, Patry, Aponte. That one inside. Whizzed right by the shins but didn't hit her, and that'll even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Break-even pitch swung on and missed for strike 2. Rodriguez usually donning the number 2 on the back of the jersey. I wonder maybe with these jerseys just out of necessity switching to 15. So if you're wondering what's up with that, there's your answer. And the 1-2 pitch is called strike 3. Allison Brunson has been hitting that outside corner with some pretty good consistency early on. Dating back to the second now, that's the 3rd consecutive strikeout for Brunson. 1 away now for Emma Patry. Patry does not get many at-bats, at least we haven't seen lately. 23 at-bats on the season. She's batting .130, no home runs, 1 run knocked in. Usually used as the flex position. But they're going to let her bat at the bottom of the order here, at least in game 1. We'll see how things progress. Up in the count 1-0. And we had, of course, the praise for the strategy, early on, especially in the first inning. But that's the thing, as there's a swing and a miss, or maybe a foul tip that goes back to the backstop. It's great at times when it's working, but ultimately you're challenging Brunson to throw strikes, and as of late, she's been able to do it. But maybe that's exactly what they want. They want her giving these Eagle hitters some more hittable pitches, and second time through the lineup, perhaps they could start taking advantage of it. Another foul tip, and it's 1-2. Patry showing bunt, pulls back, takes a pitch high, even it out at 2-2. Kind of an interesting defensive alignment that the Raiders have been playing consistently so far today, leaving the middle of that infield really wide open. If you can drive a base hit right up the gut of the defense. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and swung on and missed as she chases a ball in the dirt. Strikeout number 4 for Brunson. It's her 4th in a row. 2 outs, bases empty for the 9-hitter, Aneshka Aponte. Aponte this season, a 93 at-bats, batting a .269 average. 2 home runs, 8 driven in. You can see kind of the yellow bow spilling out of the blue batting helmet. Takes that first pitch for a strike. Brunson comes home on 0-1 and got another strike over the plate. I think you maybe call that a changeup, not enough movement for it to be considered a curveball, but not quite the velocity of her primary fastball. With 2 strikes, Aponte shows bunt but pulls back and takes the pitch outside. Staying alive in the count here at 1-2. Showing bunt again. And swinging away on another pitch low. And those breaking balls have been devastating as of late for Brunson now. Her 5th straight strikeout as she is now catching fire after 3. The Raiders are up 1-0.
Tallahassee Community College has been named as one of the top 10 community colleges in the nation. The Aspen Institute recognizes institutions from across the country that have exceptional achievements and a total commitment to improving student outcomes. The college was recognized as one of the nation's premier community colleges, eligible to compete for the prestigious $1 million Aspen Prize for Community College Excellence because of its focus on student access and success, its workforce training initiatives, a seamless and high transfer rate to four-year colleges and universities, and its many varied and productive community partnerships. This recognition from the Aspen Institute is a testament to the wonderful work of the faculty, staff, and leadership at Tallahassee Community College.
The DP, Alexis Wadsworth, starts things off in inning number 4. That breaking ball misses low and away. 4-1. Wadsworth had a slow kind of comebacker right to Michael in her first at bat. One-0 pitch. That one missing low and inside. So now the count moving to 2 balls and no strikes. Gets one called for a strike there. As you see, Northwest Florida's head coach Andy Lee at third base offering some guidance to Wadsworth. Here's the 2-1 pitch, and that curveball put high in the air, and the left fielder Patry is over there to get it in left center field for out number 1. Andy Lee, a 6-time national champion, 3-time coach of the year. This is his second season with Northwest. His career coaching record, 701 and 182. So basically just shy of an 800 winning percentage, that is nearly unfathomable when you talk about a long resume like that. Spent some time at LSU Eunice. Gibson takes a pitch outside, and it's even at 1-1 strike. LSU Eunice competing at the D2 JUCO level, so moving up a level here as that one called for a strike. The 1-2 home to Gibson. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Punch out number 3 for Brittany Michael. 2 outs, bases empty now for Layla Thompson. Singled for one of only 2 hits for the visiting Raiders here in Game 1. Breaking ball drops in for a strike to get the at-bat started. It'll be the top of the order for the Eagles in the 4th. They have been put down in order through 3 innings to this point, as that one out of play in a hurry for a foul ball. And Brittany Michael doing a good job to get ahead of Thompson, 0-2. And that one will not stay fair. That was right on the line, and the home plate umpire raises the hands. I was nearly fooled. I thought it might have stayed fair, but they say it did not. And so we'll do it again at 0-2. Always something to keep an eye on, and an impressive job by Brittany Michael to keep her composure after giving up a home run. Never something that's easy to do, but she's settled down for the most part as that breaking ball kind of wild and nearly gets away. Got Fischetti to ground out to end the third and got the first two hitters out with relative ease here in the fourth, trying to put away Thompson to get out of it. Here's the 1-2. And that one fouled right back towards us against the screen. So give her credit, Layla Thompson. She is staying alive here. And it's that bad making Brittany Michael work for this final out of the inning. Wishful thinking, I suppose. Here's another 1-2. And that one put on the ground. The second baseman, Rodriguez, has it throw to first in time for out number 3. So she does. 3 up, 3 down go the Raiders in the fourth. Eagles are down 1 run. They get the top of the order coming up when we return.
Community College presents Rock the Roost, starring Luke Bryan.
Yeah, that's my kind of night.
Luke Bryan. It goes live Saturday, July 23rd on campus at TCC with special guest
There was this girl,
Riley Green.
drink in her hand. Shoot me and let's get into trouble, grand.
Tickets are on sale now at rocktheroosttcc.com. Luke Bryan, live, produced by Tallahassee Community College and Adams Entertainment.
Mackenzie Child steps in. As we said, second time through the order. Brunson has faced the minimum through 3. A leadoff walk erased by a double play. Has yet to allow a hit. That one lashed foul right in front of the Eagle dugout. Brooke Michael on deck had to kind of skip out of the way of that one. Childs, Brooke Michael, Brittany Michael in the bottom half of the fourth inning. Eagles down 1-0 after the solo home run from Sydney Stewart. Here's the 0-1 pitch and fouled to the same spot. How often do you see that? Same pitch, same result, and now it's 0-2. So, granted, only 2 pitches in, but the Eagles more aggressive second time through the lineup. That one off the plate, and she takes it for ball 1. The 1-2, and fouled, wouldn't you know, to that same spot right near Brooke Michael. I wonder if she'll have something to say to Childs when they meet in the dugout or back on the field, as if to say, you know, why are you trying to take me out with these foul balls? What's going on? Here's the 2-2, and it's low. So after starting off 0-2 with a couple of foul balls, has now worked the count 2-2 as the umpire raises his hands. So I got a little bit ahead of myself, not quite yet to the full count. That one put slowly on the ground. The first baseman started to charge, but then it was the second baseman, Stewart, and she was right close over there and had kind of a scoop and a throw over to Hardy to complete the out. It goes 4-3. One of those ground balls that could have almost sneaked through only because it was a question of who was going to go get the ball. But eventually Stewart took charge and was able to make the out. Now it'll be Brooke Michael grounded into a double play in her only at bat after the leadoff walk from Childs to start the game. That first pitch is high. That one just off the plate, and now 2-0. A 2-0 pitch, put high in the air, but foul. Outfield shifted to Michael the other way. Infield continuing to kind of play straight up the way they have for pretty much the entire game. That breaking ball called a strike. Had some really late break on it, but was not able to get the call in the favor of Michael, and so it'll go to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now Brunson comes home, and that one off the plate. A nice job by Fischetti to try and frame and sail that one, but couldn't. And now the count goes full. Three-two count with 1 out, bases empty. The payoff pitch, and called strike 3. Michael started to head on down to first base, thinking she had worked the walk. The home plate umpire had other plans, and now she'll head back to the dugout. Strikeout number 6 on the day for Brunson. And now she's got the first 2 outs of this 4th inning in perfect order, and it will be Brittany Michael, the pitcher. Shallow pop to the first baseman Hardy in her only trip. That one missing low for ball 1. The 1-0 to Michael, and called a strike. That's been a really successful get-me-over pitch for Allison Brunson today. The Eagles have taken that pitch maybe more than any other one. Kind of a changeup that settles in the heart of the zone. And that one, diving grab made by the first baseman Hardy, and that robbed what would have been the Eagles' first hit of the day. But a spectacular defensive play keeps the no-hitter for Brunson intact. She's faced the minimum through 4. The 1-0 score holds. Game has been moving quick, dare I say, as we head out of the 5th inning. That one fouled right back towards the screen. It's Macy Hardy, the first baseman, who made that beautiful diving grab to rob Brittany Michael of a hit. That one rolled in the dirt for ball 1 out in front of the plate. Most of the time with a game like this, you look at the score 1-0 or a one-run game regardless of the score, and you say, well, you're probably going to need more than 1 run to win this game. But with the way that the Eagles have been hitting today, that may be one of those rare exceptions. As we said, Allison Brunson facing the minimum through 4. Now, it's still relatively early. There's 3 more innings to try to get a run across. But the track record is not bearing itself out. Here's a 1-2 into Hardy, and that one fouled out of play. Brooke Michael calls for a new softball, and they get it in from the Eagle dugout. Here's the 1-2, and that one fouled out of play down the right side again. So you've gotten her to swing late with the foul balls. You give her the fastball again, or you take something off. Here's another 1-2. And she goes with a fastball again, but it misses low. And now the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And that one fouled. Kaylin James ranging to go over there, but it didn't stay fair of the line. And so an at-bat that just keeps on giving will continue for at least 1 more pitch. It'll be another 2-2. And that misses low and inside, and Brittany Michael has gone as far as she can with Macy Hardy. It's 3-2. Michael looking into the dugout. Now comes home for the payoff pitch. Breaking ball right over the glove of the shortstop, Che Ortiz. And that'll get into left center field for a base hit. A leadoff single to start this 5th inning for Macy Hardy in what was maybe an 8 or 9 pitch at bat. Briley Broussard, the center fielder, steps in now. She's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. She was the one that I think had a couple of really wild swings in her first at-bat, so maybe you try and attack her the same way. She takes one outside. And this is only the 2nd time today that Northwest has had a runner on, and when that was the case, the 2nd inning single by Layla Thompson, they put her in motion quite a bit. Never made an attempt at stealing second, but came close. As I'm not sure where that one missed, maybe a bit outside, and it's 2-0. James not holding the runner on at first. She comes in to play the bunt, it looks like, as there's a called strike. "17 sacrifice hits as they put the bunt down. Pitcher Brittany Michael collects it, throws to first for the out, but it was successful in getting the runner over to second base. Macy Hardy gets to second on what will be a 1-4 putout, as it was Allison Rodriguez covering first base. It was one of those where Caitlin James was playing in, but it was just, I guess, better for the pitcher Michael to range over there and go get it. So a successful sacrifice for Briley Broussard, and now it'll be Gracie Bellard. Takes that first pitch on the inside part for a strike. I was actually looking at the opponent column for sacrifice hits. They've had 17 sacrifice hits against them. They have only had one sacrifice hit themselves this year to the Northwest Florida State Raiders. So I think you put that one down as sacrifice hit number 2 of the season. This is game number 44 of the year for them. Michael kind of discussing some signs in the dugout, but now comes home on 0-2. Low and away for ball 1. So 2 outs still to get now, a runner at second base, and in a 1-0 score where your offense has only had one base runner through 4. I mean, this is as an important of insurance run as they come. And that one is going to get down for a base hit right in front of Mackenzie Childs. The throw cut off by Ortiz, and they're going to hold the runner at third. So a nice job by Childs to at least get that ball in quickly. It is the first baseman, Macy Hardy, that was running from second base. So, you know, obviously not the fastest player in the lineup. But, I mean, you know, it's called runner in scoring position for a reason. So I think that was just a nice job by Tallahassee to keep her from coming home. It will now be Cassidy Hood. First pitch called a strike. There was kind of some chaos going on in the infield as they were thinking about trying to cover second base if there was going to be a stolen base attempt. So the single for Gracie Bellard moves Hardy over to third. Runners on the corners with 1 out. And a 1-0 Raiders lead. That one just off the plate. And Gracie Bellard trying to be as much of a nuisance as she can off of first base, trying to disrupt the concentration of Brittany Michael. Brittany and Brooke Michael both looking into the dugout there, kind of discussing the signs. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. As there's a cut and a miss. And Gracie Bellard kicking up clouds of dust over there off of her leads at first base. Looking for the put away on 1-2. And that one fouled back, rattling the railings above the backstop. And so we'll do it again at 1-2. And this is key too, because you've got Hood with the 9-hitter in the lineup. And, you know, if you can get her out, that's out number 2. But then you've got to face Sydney Stewart, who hit the home run earlier. So this is a key out at the bottom of the order. Pitch outside, glove nicely by Brooke Michael to keep it in front. That would have been a wild pitch with devastating consequences. But clearly in a situation like this, Cassidy Hood is going to make you throw a really good pitch to get her out. Sacrifice flies potentially in play as that one pops up, but it's not going to get out of the infield, and it's grabbed by Raven Little for out number 2. And with that, now the sacrifice fly is out of play with 2 outs. So you get a soft pop out of Cassidy Hood. You go back to the top of the order, and Sydney Stewart, she's 1 for 2, as we mentioned, with the home run. That was her 8th of the year. She's got now runners on the corners with 2 outs. First pitch to her, high and outside. And what was that? So a successful stolen second base for Gracie Bellard, and that was, I gotta say, that was probably the strangest stolen base I have ever seen. So I believe the pitch was high, and Brooke Michael grabbed it, and she's watching Bellard run off of first base, and there was just no throw over there. That one, a ground ball to Caitlin James, and it doesn't matter because they'll get out of the inning anyway. A nice job to get the leadoff hitter Sydney Stewart out and keep those runners from coming in and holding the score where it stays 1-0 in favor of the Raiders. During the break, I got a word from fellow broadcasting colleague here at TCC, Brett Rutherford, and I think he's right that actually will go down as defensive indifference on Gracie Bellard taking second base instead of a stolen base, as that one is lashed right to third base and into the glove of Thompson for out number 1. That was Raven Little, and that would have been probably good for a couple of bases if it had gotten past her, but a nice play that, not necessarily that you say it took a hit away, but that was a nice defensive play made, a line out to the third baseman. And with 1 out, bases empty here for Chichi Ortiz, struck out looking in her only time. And that one popped high in the air, and it is the shortstop, Cassidy Hood, drifting out there into shallow left center to make the grab. So 2 pitches and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Imagine Caitlin James will take the first pitch of this at-bat to prevent that 3-pitch inning. Just to wrap it up, what was so just strange, even in a defensive indifference play where you take second base, it wasn't like she was clear running for a second. It was just kind of she was taking a step and daring the catcher, Brooke Michael, to throw over there. And with the runner at third, she just wasn't going to do it. That one called a strike on the outside part. So she does take that pitch, as we could have expected. Fouled it with the very end of the bat, and now quickly moves to 0-2. Eagles have not had a base runner since their first at-bat of the game, where it was a leadoff walk for Mackenzie Childs. A double play the very next at-bat, and since then, They have been kept off the bases as that one is launched high in the air. The left fielder, Bellard, goes back. And we've got a tie game. Who else but Kalen James to send it out of the yard just over the left field wall. No hitter erased. And we've got a tie game. You talk about a big hit. I mean, that is about as big as they come. We're still relatively early. It's the 5th inning. 2 more to play, but really nothing was going the Eagles' way on the offensive side of things. And with one swing of the bat, Kalen James neutralized it all. That is her 9th home run of the year, so that ties her with Raven Little for the team lead. That was RBI number 29. As that one is fouled back softly by Allison Rodriguez. So the Eagles are on the board. It's 1-1. Got to imagine Brittany Michael will at least pitch the 6th. And how often do you see that too? A no-hitter erased by a home run. Pretty rare. That one missing off the plate. Brunson on 1 and 2. And that is a strike 3 called for strikeout number 7 for Brunson. But not before the Eagles tie the game on a solo home run from Kalen James. Through 5 now. We are all knotted up.
Community College presents Rock the Roost, starring Luke Bryan.
Yeah, that's my kind of night.
Luke Bryan. It goes live Saturday, July 23rd on campus at TCC with special guest
There was this girl,
Riley Green.
drink in her hand. Shoot me a let's get into trouble grin.
Tickets are on sale now at rocktheroosttcc.com. Luke Bryan, live, produced by Tallahassee Community College and Adams Entertainment.
So as anticipated, Brittany Michael is back out for inning number 6. Now in a tied-up game. Big cut and a miss for strike 1 to start things off against Gabrielle Fischetti. She's 0 for 2 today. I believe we mentioned it, but even if we did, a reminder that Brittany Michael, after that terrific doubleheader performance against Gulf Coast State, won National Pitcher of the Week for softball, as that one gets out of play, all the way out of the stadium, in fact. And that's not the only honor that had been coming the Eagles' way as of late. Ethan Firevid on the baseball side of things, FCS AA Pitcher of the Week, after his complete game shutout performance against Pensacola State. 0-2 here to Fischetti. And that one popped high in the air. Second baseman Allison Rodriguez is under it, and that's out number 1. Now the DP, Alexis Wadsworth, she's 0 for 2. Comebacker to the pitcher and flew out to left. We haven't seen any of those insane diving or leaping grabs by Mapatre in left field yet. But you know, she's always got one or two in her, and that one is going to get a piece of Wadsworth as she heads down to first on the hit by a pitch. So the Raiders get a base runner free of charge. And she's the DP, so we have not seen her in the field today. I bring that up because, you know, you talk about if you want to steal second, there's one out in the inning. Riley Gibson, the Raider at the plate. She's 0 for 2 today. Takes that first pitch for a strike. And that one, tailor-made double play ball, but they do not go for it, and they don't get the out at first either. So that's a fairly difficult play to make sense of. That'll go down as an error. I feel like they had enough time maybe to go to second and try for the double play. Instead, Alison Rodriguez, or pardon my take there, Cheche Ortiz at shortstop goes straight to first with the throw, and it was not able to be corralled by Kaylin James. That first pitch, big cut and missed there. So E6 puts Riley Gibson aboard, moves Wadsworth over to second base. And that one put in the air. The right fielder, Ponte, charging in, makes the graph route number 2. Runners hold. Two out, two on. For now, the first baseman Macy Hardy. She's 1 for 2. Single to begin the 5th. Big swing and a miss. Throw it down to first. And they got her, says the field umpire, on closer to the third base side. So a beautiful throw, beautiful play by Brooke Michael to throw down at first. Kaylin James applying the tag, and that is how the top of the 6th inning will end. I believe the umpires are going to come in to discuss it. The Raiders coach, Andy Lee, came over to have a few words with the home plate umpire. But either way, that is going to end the top of the 6th. 1-1 score, bottom of the order coming up to try and bring the Eagles the lead when we return. So after an exciting end to the top of the 6th, we now head to the bottom of the 6th inning, and Mapatre will lead things off, followed by Aponte before we go back over to the top, and Childs Yeah, during the break, Andy Lee, the Northwest head coach, had some even more things to say to the home plate umpire about that call that was made. I mentioned that the field umpire was on the other side of the infield between second and third base, so not that he has a great view over there. Probably the home plate umpire, you could argue, had a better vantage point. We saw an incident like that over at Eagle Field to my right, where there was a similar call that was made by the field umpire instead of the home plate umpire, and I know that's something that can get under the coach's skin sometimes, especially if it's a call they don't like. Patrick put a big swing on that one and fouled it against the screen, protecting the Eagle dugout. The break even on 1-1 outside. And another big swing and another foul ball. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes to Emma Patry. Mentioned does not get a ton of at-bats over the course of the year. She's got a chance here to come up huge in a tie game in the late stages. Here's the 2-2, and that one high pop out that's going to stay in the infield, grabbed by the third baseman Thompson. Layla Thompson makes the grab for out number 1. Now it'll be Aneshka Aponte, the right fielder. She's 0 for 1 with a swinging strikeout. Big cut and miss to begin the at-bat for strike 1. Aponte on the year, 269 coming into the day. Fastball down Main Street for strike 2. At the lower portion of the play, of the strike zone, rather. Nothing in 2, though, moves the count. A nice take there off the plate to keep it alive. One ball, 2 strikes upcoming from Brunson. That slow-moving curveball taken for a ball off the plate. Chopper picked up by the third baseman Thompson. Throw to first in time for out number 2. Put out goes 5-3 and 2 outs. Space is empty now for Mackenzie Childs, getting her third at-bat of the day. 0 for 1 with a walk. So her third plate appearance, you would say. Second at-bat. Bottom of the order coming up for the Raiders in the 7th. And that one is fouled out of play, rattling off the roof of, I believe, TCC's dugout. That one put foul the other way That's another quick 0-2 count for Allison Brunson. Looking for strikeout number 8 on the day. And a called strike 3. That is the third time today. In fact, the third inning in a row, third inning in a row that has included a strikeout looking. That is punch out number 8 of the day for Allison Brunson. We've got 1 inning left of regulation, but a tie game as of right now. Stay with us. Top of the 7th, first pitch to Macy Hardy is called a strike. Macy Hardy today 1 for 2 with a single. Hardy, Broussard, and Bellard, the 6, 7, 8 hitters due up here. So good spot, hopefully, with Brittany Michael back out on the circle. That pitch evens the count out at 1-1. Yeah, I mean, you've got the Michael twins and Raven Little due up in the bottom half of this inning. So you would say that it would go in TCC's favor. And that one sent in the air. Mackenzie Childs makes a running grab, and there's out number 1. Ball looked like it could have been trouble, but stayed up there long enough for Childs to range to her right. And she's been busy out there in the outfield today. Fly out to center to begin the inning, and now it will be Briley Broussard. She put a sac bunt down in the 5th. That one fouled out of play. Nice crowd it ended up being here at the softball grounds today, including some TCC royalty as well. That one popped up in the air. Head coach Rick Cabrera, the men's basketball coach, among those in the crowd. His assistants with them as well. Always nice to see some of those other sports show out and support. A 1-2 pitch up coming to Broussard. Here it is. And that's off the plate. And that one put foul. Andy Lee getting out of the way of that foul ball, and we'll stay where we are, which is 1 ball and 2 strikes. That one low. A lot of long at-bats. I mean, it has not been a very long game. You know, it's a 1-1 score, not a ton of base runners, but a lot of these at-bats have gone deep into counts. This is a full count upcoming to Broussard, and this is a big pitch. Keep a runner off base. But she cannot. Broussard heads down to first with a walk. First base on balls issued by Michael today. Gives the Raiders a 1-out base runner. And she is the center fielder, so you got to imagine that if there's any time that you're going to put a runner in motion, this might be the spot, especially with 1 out. You know, the old adage of you don't want to make the first or the last out on the bases. Well, this is the only time where that's not the case when you have 1 out. Starts Bellard off with a ball. Gracie Bellard today 1 for 2. Singled in the 5th on a play with Macy Hardy at second, and she couldn't come home. She's ended up only staying at third, and in a 1-1 score. I mean, that's a play that ends up being pretty significant when all is said and done. That one off the plate. Runner goes. Throw down to second. And the runner is safe. In a cloud of dust, it was the shortstop, Cheche Ortiz, screaming over there to get to second. You know, made kind of a Superman dive to catch the ball and apply the tag kind of in one motion. That would have been an incredibly exciting put-out if they could have gotten it. It was a close bang-bang play. And so the center fielder, Briley Broussard, is safe at second with a successful stolen base. The 1-1 pitch off the plate. Two balls a strike is the count. That one fouled away, so it'll move to 2-2. You got the 8-hitter up now in Bellard. Next, the 9-hitter in Cassidy Hood, who's 0 for 2. So another key spot for Northwest where they got runners on base, this time again in scoring position. It's the bottom of the order up. Only run for them was the leadoff hitter, Sydney Stewart, getting a solo home run in the 3rd inning. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. She heads back to the dugout for out number 2. Does Gracie Bellard, and that is strikeout number 4 of the day for Brittany Michael rather. And so now, with 2 outs and a runner at second base, I believe that is the 9-hitter Cassidy Hood. It's a potential spot where you think about pinch hitting, but it is not. The number 11 on the back of the jersey. So they are going to play this situation straight up. Michael starts the at-bat with a strike. And that one off the plate evens it at 1-1. The break even on 1-1. Just off the plate. Brooke was trying to sell it. The home plate umpire was looking at the glove, but he would not relinquish the strike call. Now the 2-1, and that's a high breaking ball. Gloved nicely by Brooke Michael to keep it in front. And so now they count 3 balls and a strike. First base is open. If they don't want to give her a pitch to hit here, but you got to consider as well the hitter on deck, Sydney Stewart, with the home run. And that one is low for ball 4, and so they are going to take their chances pitching to Sydney Stewart. Second walk of the inning issued by Brittany Michael. Sydney Stewart 1 for 3 today with that home run. She is batting .438 on the season coming into today. hit her 8th home run. She's got now 45 RBIs. More walks than strikeouts, 12-8 the ratio there as well. So this is one of the tougher hitters probably in the Panhandle Conference that you've got in a big spot to try and keep this a tie game. 0-1 the count. And that breaking ball that is high and kind of away from right-handers has not been getting many swings as of late. A really key 1-1 pitch right here to swing the at-bat one way or the other. That one is put in the air. 3 Eagles converging over to get it, and it will be the right fielder, Anishka Ponte, to squeeze out number 3 of this inning. So they do keep the Raiders runners from coming in to score, and they'll give themselves a chance in the bottom of the 7th to walk it off.
Community College presents Rock the Roost, starring Luke Bryan.
Yeah, that's my kind of night.
Luke Bryan. It goes live Saturday, July 23rd on campus at TCC with special guest
There was this girl,
Riley Green.
drink in her hand. Shoot me and let's get into trouble, grand.
Tickets are on sale now at rocktheroosttcc.com. Luke Bryan, live, produced by Tallahassee Community College and Adams Entertainment.
Bottom of the 7th here. Brooke Michael, the catcher, to get things started. First pitch from Brunson is low. Brooke today 0 for 2, grounded into a double play in the first inning. Struck out swinging in the 4th. Brooke Michael here, Brittany Michael to follow, and Raven Little afterwards. It's arguably the 3 best hitters in this lineup with a chance in a tie game to walk it off in game 1. That one off the plate, and it's 2-0. Allison Brunson back out for inning number 7. Both pitchers have gone the distance thus far. And that's a called strike. A home run allowed by each of the pitchers, but that's been it as far as the scoring's concerned. They both kind of had to navigate some threats here and there. Well, I guess not necessarily for Brunson. It was the home run, and then she went back to putting everyone down in order, so to speak. She's retired 4 Eagles in a row since allowing that home run, but it seems like at least Brittany Michael's been working in and out of trouble today. The 3-1 pitch, and that's low ball 4, and there's a leadoff walk to get a runner aboard. That is the winning run standing at first base. That is the second walk of the day issued by Brunson, and that will bring up the pitcher, Brittany Michael. Head coach Andy Lee coming out to have a discussion with his infield. They've turned a double play once already, as we mentioned. Certainly be looking to generate the same result in this situation. Lee heads back to the dugout. Brittany Michael came in today with a 245 average, 328 on base, 1 home run, 18 runs batted in. Brooke Michael taking that kind of runner stance off the first base. Pitch high, gets away from the catcher. Runner goes down to second. She's going to get in there safely with what I believe should be a wild pitch. So there you go, unforced errors, and the Eagles able to take advantage of it in that instance. They give you a second base free of charge. And a mistake that could possibly prove costly for Northwest State. The 1-0, and that one misses low. So 2 balls, no strikes to Brittany Michael. 11 walks in comparison to 7 strikeouts. So tending to work more patient at bats than not. She's ahead in the count, 2-0. And that one must have just missed by a hair off the plate, because the count is now going to move to 3-0. And in this situation, do you give Brittany Michael the green light on 3-0? Winning run at second base with nobody out. They do not. She was taken all the way, and that's going to be a called strike to keep the at-bat moving. And that curveball is put in the air, and it just barely gets out of the infield. The first baseman, Hardy, makes the catch, an unproductive out as the runner stays at second base. So pop out to first. That will bring up Raven Little. She's 0 for 2 today. Had a screeching liner really right down the third base line that was grabbed by Layla Thompson. So she's had a good hit off the bat, just couldn't get anything from it. And that first pitch away, I think we're looking at an intentional walk right here. I think we may be. Yeah, the catcher, Fischetti, not going into that crouch. They are just going to put Raven Little on first base, which makes sense. Probably the most feared hitter in this lineup. So you don't give her a chance to put an end to this game, and so after one more pitch, it will be up to Cheche Ortiz. That one low, and so that will complete the intentional walk. Cheche Ortiz today 0 for 2. Struck out looking in the second, popped out to shortstop in the fifth. She had an error today defensively on a play where I thought they probably could have gotten a double play. They go to first and can't get the out there either, but at the end of the day, no harm, no foul. We're tied, and a chance to put an end to this game if she can put a good swing on the softball. She's going to belay a bunt down. Throw goes to first. It is good for out number 2, but the runners do advance. Really, the only one that matters is the one going over to third base. And that is a little bit interesting, I would say, because with, maybe they were thinking they were going to bunt her on safely, and then you've got, the sacrifice fly with the runner at third, but with 2 outs, I mean, now I guess, basically any kind of hit is going to end this game. Kaylin James at the plate, she's got the home run, which has allowed the Eagles to get to this point. That first pitch misses, or no, it's called a strike. I was thinking, are they going to try and pitch around to her too, but no. Big swing and foul ball. Count moves to 0-2 quickly. If we do play an 8th inning, it's going to be the top of the order for the Raiders, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters. 7th was in the Eagles' favor. The 8th may potentially be in the Raiders' favor. That one is off the plate. So this is the chance. You have it right here. Can you capitalize? The winning run is at 3rd with 2 outs. And one of your better hitters at the plate in Kalen James, which he's behind in the count. This one from Allison Brunson is high and away. Kalen James started to go, but pulled back early. Kind of that big load up that she's got on that swing that allows her to generate all that power. Brunson rubbing up the softball. She's got the sign. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Misses low in the dirt. And now Brunson has gone as far as she can with Kalen James. It's 3-2. And that one is going to get through for a base hit, and that's going to end the game. A walk-off hit for Kalen James. Eagles win 2-1 in 7 as the dugout comes pouring out. They take game 1 in an exhilarating fashion. I believe it was off the glove of the third baseman, Layla Thompson. And at that point, it was a scramble, and there was no play at first base to be made. It was the runner at third base in Brooke Michael that came across to score to end the game. So that's going to do it for game 1 of the doubleheader. We'll give you the lines for the pitchers. Well, they both essentially went the distance. Allison Brunson went 6 2/3. She gave up 2 runs. On whether you want to call that a hit or an error, that would depend, because before that she had only allowed 1 hit. She had struck out 8. And then for Brittany Michael, another complete game victory for her, and she goes 7 and looks terrific again. Not a complete game shutout. She gave up that home run in the 3rd, but really locked it down after that. There was threats all across the game, but you give her a lot of credit for standing in, and a reigning national pitcher of the week puts out another really great performance. She earns the victory, as I said, in her 8th complete game of the year. She's now 7-3 on the season, and heck, kind of like we saw last time we were here, she may come out of the bullpen in game 2. You're never quite sure. But this was huge. You take out the Raiders' ace as well. Their pitcher presumably in game 2 is not going to be, at least numbers-wise, at the level of Allison Brunson. So you've got yourself in really nice position here to come away with maybe a couple of victories. So we will be back on a separate broadcast here shortly when game number 2 is about to get underway. I'm William Haynes, bringing you the action. Noah Hapner, our broadcast engineer. And as I said, on tcceagles.com and on YouTube, the TCC Eagles channel, that's where you can find game 2 on a separate broadcast when we are underway. And we will see you then.